The World's 2023 theme song Gods featuring NewJeans dropped today, and it has already amassed 6 million views at the time of recording. The music video follows the journey of Deft Hyeokkyu, one of the winners of Worlds 2022. It takes us back to his debut in 2013 and his hard-earned victory at Worlds 2022. With almost 10 years worth of story to cover, here is the full breakdown of the music video along with all its Easter eggs. This music video starts off at Mapo High School, where Deft was a student. In his classroom, we have Faker, who is happily chatting away with his friend. This is a nod to the fact that Deft and Faker were schoolmates back in high school, a storyline that was used in Worlds 2022's finals teaser. Then, we're taken into the Summoner's Rift, where Deft is Ezreal, ripping through a blue sentinel with his... ulti? That's definitely True Shot Barrage, but on a blue buff? A neutral monster? Not even an epic monster like Baron or Dragon? Just when Deft feels proud of himself for killing the blue buff, we see Faker jumping in to slay the Baron Nashor as Zed. This is a nod to Faker's iconic Zed play in Champions 2013 Summer Finals against KT Bullet's Ryu. This gave SKT T12 their win in summer, as shown by the trophy after Faker kills the Baron. Then, we see Deft's room, that's of course rife with Easter eggs. On his shelf, you'll see a Teemo hat and a Rammus figurine. Moving to the wall by his bed are a few pictures. They look like League of Legends artwork, but it's too blurry for me to figure out what they are. If you know what these pictures are, please let me know in the comments below. On his bed is an alpaca plushie. Deft is known to resemble an alpaca, and this fact wasn't overlooked in DRX's Worlds 2022 skins. In fact, the one on his bed looks exactly like the ones you'll find in the skins. Another fun fact. The fact that the alpaca is wearing sunglasses is likely a nod to the Champions 2014 Summer Finals teaser Show Me the LOL Champions that Deft filmed when he was on Samsung Blue. Show Me the LOL Champions is a parody of a popular Korean rap competition program, Show Me the Money. Deft might be doing a parody of someone who appeared on that show, but I'm not too sure who. If you do, please leave it in the comments below.
지금부터 결승은 내 무대. I'm the Deft. 삼성의 알파카.
Finally, on his wall is a League of Legends poster showing off the earliest few heroes. Now, we cut to Deft's computer. There's nice attention to detail, making sure that Deft's screen shows the old League HUD. Above it, we can see a poster of Worlds 2013. The sun rising in the background and a can of Red Bull shows that he's practiced for the whole night. If you look at the calendar on his table, it's January. Had Deft been practicing hard for Worlds 2013 only to not even qualify for Worlds in September? Then, there's a poster of Jinx and Vi in the corner of his room, and a small drawing of Fishbones, Jinx's rocket launcher above his computer. This is a nod to Arcane, and also Deft's proficiency with Jinx. It's one of his most iconic champions. Back into the Summoner's Rift, we see Deft as Lucian after he's struck by what seems to be electricity. We see that Pawn, who is now on sister team Samsung White, is the culprit as Jace. Deft faces his first defeat from a teammate he once had on Samsung Blue. Pay attention to the people Deft fights throughout the music video. More often than not, they're people Deft fought alongside with in the past. Deft would then go on to be knocked out in the semi-finals of Worlds 2014 by sister team Samsung White, the eventual champions of the year. Following which, he joins EDG where he teams up with Mako. At Worlds 2015 where Deft is on Sivir and Mako on Thresh, Reckless on Cannon knocks them out in the quarterfinals. It's important to note that this scene is a mishmash of two games in Worlds 2015. Reckless's Cannon and Mako's Thresh in Game 1, and Deft's Sivir in Game 3. Deft then comes back to Korea and joins KT Roaster before moving over to DRX, where he becomes part of the iconic DRX 2020 lineup of Doran, Pyoshik, Chovy, Deft, and Carrier. Now, we see Deft as Senna and Doran as Jax going up against Canyon as Graves. Showmaker then comes in as Syndra, and Carrier on Braum with his shield to sacrifice himself for Deft. Unfortunately, neither of them make it, and DRX is knocked out of Worlds 2020 by Damwon Gaming in the quarterfinals. This scene is also a mishmash of different games, showcasing Canyon's Graves and Showmaker's Syndra in Game 1, and Deft's Senna and Carrier's Braum in Game 3. Fun fact, Deft's hair was actually blonde during this time, but they probably didn't change it in the MV to avoid confusion. Deft then falls into a pit of despair. He's gotten knocked out at the quarterfinals 4 times in a row. In 2015 and 2016 when he was on EDG, 2018 with KT Roaster, and now 2020 with DRX. But when he's on his knees, still fighting to reach the light, his hands find that of Kingan, the top laner of DRX 2022. Quick note that Deft's time in Hanwha Life Esports has been glossed over here. They rise up to the Worlds 2022 arena. It's in shambles, ruled by Mako as Renata Glask, who won Worlds 2021 with EDG, Deft's previous team. Once again, Deft has to fight against someone he once fought with. but he whips out his axes as Draven, willing to do what it takes to get to the top. Interestingly, Deft didn't play Draven in the deciding game between DRX and EDG. Instead, he was on Ezreal. After defeating Mako and EDG, Deft faces yet another familiar face. This time, it's Doran as Renekton with his ultimate popped. He takes his ex-teammate down as Varus. Now, it's time to face the final friend, the one that stood by his side and sacrificed himself for him, Carrier. Now on T1, Deft as Caitlyn must defeat his ex-bot lane partner to claim the trophy. But right before he can take down Carrier, who is Karma, Faker and Victor comes in to save him. Deft can't do this alone. In a flash of arcane magic, Beryl as Bard brings the team over with his ability Magical Journey. Now, the DRX team is in full force. Kingan as Aatrox, Pyoshik as Hecarim, Zekar as Azir, Deft as Caitlyn, and Beryl as Bard. This is the actual lineup of the team in their winning match. Together, the team make it out victorious, and we see Deft's look of disbelief. He finally did it. He finally won. He finally gets to lift the Summoner's Cup. Most likely for narrative purposes, Deft's reaction in the music video is very different from his actual reaction. While he seems stunned in the music video, in reality, he was over the moon. They do recreate the moment of DRX's group hug though, and the team hoists the Summoner's Cup high. They did the unthinkable. The 4th seed of LCK that had to fight their way up from the playing stage are now champions of Worlds 2022, making history as the first playing team to ever win Worlds. You might think that the music video is over, but then the scene changes to an eye looking at the Summoner's Cup. This year's Summoner's Cup. We then see G2's Hans Sama, Furia's Ayu, C9's Blabber, Astral Esports' Jose Deodo, EDG's Uzi, Genji's Chovy, Gam Esports' Levi, PSG Talent's Zhi, and Detonation Focus Mi's Yutapon, all looking at the Summoner's Cup. In this scene, we also see a few more players, but I can't quite figure out exactly who they are. If you know any of them, please let me know in the comments. It's also interesting to note that it included teams that did not make it to Worlds this year. Who knows? There might be another underdog story next year. And now, we've finally come to the end of the Gods breakdown. What are some of your favourite Easter eggs? Did you like the music video? Let me know and let's have a chat in the comments.
Once you play God,